Call this meeting of Board of Commissioners to order. Start with pledge allegiance to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Y'all have a copy of the minutes preceding meetings. Are there any additions or corrections?
If no additions or corrections, Mr. President, I move the minutes be accepted as presented. Second.
Been moved and seconded, the minutes be accepted as presented. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Department head reports. Mr. Havlin?
Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning, sir.
We've been pretty busy just getting mowing done and putting cans in and doing patching some roads. And we've been clearing the dirt on the back behind the building for a new pad for a new building. But as soon as we get these cans in, we'll start chip sealing. And I've seen a couple roads that need it all the way through, but I'd like to strip patch the rest of them. I'll have your report for your next meeting on which ones we're gonna do.
Okay.
So we'll double check. I think I know Big Bear down there in your area, Frank, is pretty sad shape. And I think it needs it all the way through. But we've got some, we can just strip the edges of them and get by, and we'll do that because they're still in pretty good shape. But I'll let you know what we're gonna do before we do it.
Okay.
I got a question on the gate. I brought this up a while back. I need to get that gate fixed because that thing, it's a pain when it's raining and lightning out because you have to get out and muscle that metal gate in the lightning. And I don't like for anybody to have to be out there taking a chance of getting hit by lightning. So I've got the two quotes that I had. And the second quote, I think he's just trying to rebuild the whole system. And the first quote is the one where, you want a copy of this too? He's talking about rebuilding the drive system on it because it's 30 years old. It was put up when the building was put up. And I've got the money in the building repair down there. I'd like to just go ahead and get it fixed.
This second one's about a whole new deal, isn't it?
Yeah, he's wanting to put, if you go by the state code, you gotta have sensors on it so it don't shut on somebody. And I don't know if you really need all that stuff or not, but that's what he's wanting to do. The other one is just rebuilding the drive system for it, is what it is. It's got all electronics and everything's outdated in there in that drive box because 30 years, things change.
So you're saying,
No. Go on. Okay. This half horsepower mower and a one horse motor,
That's the difference in the prices.
It's an either or,
Yeah, if he has to put the one horse in it, it was gonna be the higher price.
but what's in it now?
I think it's got a one horse in it. I'm pretty sure it's
But
gonna be the higher price.
he thinks it'll work all right with a half horse?
He's not sure. He had to research it and find out for sure. That's why he put both of them on the bid.
I don't want to take a step back. If one horse is working, there's no
Yeah.
sense in going back to
Because
half
it's a
horse.
pretty heavy gate when you go to put it, you have to push it open. It's all you can do to push it open.
I mean, evidently that's what it needed, or they wouldn't have put that on there to start
Yeah.
with, wouldn't you think?
And I think I'm gonna have him put a roller out on the end of it because it just hangs out there and I think that's what's killing it. It's all the weight. Yeah,
Weight, the end of it.
it kills you got 4 rollers on the backside and when it hangs down, it binds them up and they just need to rework it. Like I said, it's been there a long time. We put rollers on it in the past, just to try to keep it going. But this last time it knocked the motor and everything out and it just needs to be redone.
Okay.
In the second proposal, why is there so much difference?
He's wanting to take the whole gate off and put a whole new gate up with sensors and everything on it. He's wanting to put a whole new system in it. This other guy's just wanting to rebuild the system that's there.
And you don't think there's a need for a new gate?
No.
Nothing matter with the gate, right?
No, it looks like it's in good shape. It's not bent. That's the first thing they check, see if it's bent. Because if it's bent, it'll cause it to bind up.
Now this roller you was talking about putting on the end,
We've got that down there. I bought that earlier, right before the motor went out. I was
so
gonna put
that's
it on
no extra
myself.
cost then?
No, ain't no extra cost to that, but I'm gonna have him install it on there so it's on there right.
Okay. Well, what's the wish of the two commissioners?
Mr. President, I would move that we accept Oliver Fencing and Construction's bid for the 1 horsepower motor, $3,526.
Been moved and seconded that we accept Olders fencing bid of $3,526. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
That's all. Well,
That's all
I
you got?
do want to tell you, we are on the second pass on mowing. We're starting down, we're open around Little Bear and that down in there today. And we'll just make another pass around and we'll do it one more time before the season's over.
Them weeds are growing pretty well.
Yeah, all this rain's making them grow good.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jay. Maintenance, Bill Gray.
Guys. Morning. I don't have a whole lot except for what we've got going on. The elevator, I talked to him this morning, and it's probably gonna be first week of August before they get all the equipment in. They had to retrofit a lot of this stuff, so that's where we're at on that. On the steps out front, I contacted that guy last week, and he was supposed to got back with me yesterday. He didn't. I called him again this morning, left voicemail. I talked to the owner Friday, and he was supposed to got back with me Monday, but he didn't. So I called him back again this morning, left my name and number. I'm waiting to hear back from him. So as soon as I get something on that, I'll let you guys know.
Oh, it's hard to understand why it's so hard to get anybody to work, isn't it?
I don't know. And other than that, I don't have anything else.
I mean, it's been, what, 2 or 3 months since we signed the
Yeah.
contract to fix it?
Yeah, well, they supposed to have been, that's June.
In June, he said.
Yeah, in June, the 1st of June is when they were supposed to have started on it.
Yeah.
So, and when I talked to him, when I talked to the owner Monday or Friday, he said that they'd had so many jobs that they'd had to get done before they could start, smaller jobs before they could start this one. So, I hope to hear back from him today.
Let's hope.
I'm sorry. So if I do, I'll let you know.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay. And you are gonna see, try and find a couple of trees.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
Get
I'll
this front
I'll
yard
get a couple in there. Let's hope some
Spruced
friends.
up where we cut them trees down.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, sir.
Ben Houston, IT Director.
Morning, gentlemen.
Morning, sir.
Good morning.
The only thing I have for you is the announcement of my resignation that I gave to you on Friday, effective July 18th. So,
We wish you luck, Ben.
thank you. Thank you. It's
Yeah,
been-
we really do.
It was a great opportunity, and I thank you guys for it. Just unfortunately, a new job offer came up that I couldn't pass up. So, but this was a great place to just really dive into a lot of fun challenges, and I appreciate the opportunity to serve the county in this capacity. So,
Well, we appreciate, like I say, this doesn't give us very long to find somebody, and we probably need your help
sure.
in finding somebody, interviewing candidates for this, because we need somebody here on this job when you leave, you know.
Yeah, the 2 part-timers that you have are very well qualified. They're doing a great job. They're getting up to speed very quick. Over the next 3 weeks, I'll continue to just pump them full as much information as I can so that they're as ready to go. And then, of course, I'll help in any way in the transition that I can. So,
But we still need a boss.
you're right. Sure, absolutely. Yeah.
We're gonna have to advertise and try and interview people in another week if we can, which is awful short notice, but do we need a motion to advertise for the position, or? We
Go
do.
ahead, might as well cover that
So
base.
moved.
Second.
Been moved and seconded that we advertise for an IT director.
I might run that past you,
Sure.
tweak that from what we have
Yeah.
reviewed.
Tweak that and set a date in there for those to be in and when we can interview candidates, because it's going to have to be done in the next couple of weeks. Okay? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Thanks, Ben.
All right. Thank
You'll be
you, guys.
missed.
All right. Thank you.
Bobby Smith, Veteran Service Officer, is he here?
Don't see him. He was at the water company on my way here.
Huh?
He was at the water company on my way here, so.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe he'll show up a little bit later. County Attorney, Crystal Pepper.
Okay, in light of new information, the county needing to fully understand what insurance they're buying, I suggest that you guys move as a commissioners to reconsider last week's vote and rejecting both bids and have them both resubmit as soon as possible where a decision will be made on which insurance to buy. Just with new information given, so it can be presented in a way where everyone can understand exactly what's being presented and what's purchased. It's not something that needs to be a decision that needs to become too hastily, and the county will still be insured for this next week.
And when do we need those?
I mean, as soon, we have to set it for a public meeting as soon as possible, Monday or Tuesday, a special meeting.
Okay. So what day do you want us to have that?
Let's do
Monday.
Monday.
So we need a motion to do that if we,
First you need a motion to reconsider the vote of last week for accepting the insurance proposal.
we can't throw that all in one motion, everything you said.
Just for
I'll make the
proceed-
motion to reconsider.
Second.
Been moved and seconded to reconsider the insurance.
and a motion to reject both bids pending their the final decision next Monday when they're both resubmitted.
Is that all in one motion?
Or has to
And
be two
reject?
separate motions?
It's all in one motion. Do you want that all?
One, yes, that,
Okay. Okay. Well, let's start with making the motion second, and then subject for exactly what Chris said.
a motion to reject both bids from last week because there wasn't enough information.
Okay.
Okay, I'm confused. Is that in the first motion or the second one?
That's in the second motion.
Okay, well, we need to vote on the first
Uh,
one.
Yeah, let's vote on the first motion to reconsider the insurance. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
And this is on
Now.
the facts.
You need another motion to reject the bids? Is that
No.
what you said?
No, that's what we did.
No, we didn't vote on the first motion to reconsider.
We did just vote on that.
Now a motion to reject both bids
Okay.
from last week.
Okay.
So moved.
Second.
Been moved and seconded to reject both bids that were turned in last week. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Does that take care of that situation?
It does, and
No. Mr. President, I move that the bids be sealed.
Okay?
Second.
Been moved and seconded that when we receive the bids, they be sealed bids. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. That's the way it'll be.
You have something, sorry.
I just didn't know if there's anything specific you wanted. Well, I guess we'll just leave it up to each company.
Well,
Well, the
Make
big,
it easier for you guys.
the biggest thing I saw when we were comparing is that we kind of weren't comparing apples to apples. And
can you make up a,
maybe I could
Make
come
up
up
a-
with a form or a spreadsheet to how,
I've done one.
huh?
I've done one,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
because like,
Well-
in the law enforcement, things were wrapped in and we need to have that separated out so we know strictly law enforcement and then strictly
Well-
what.
Yeah, and I did, and that's, and I'm sorry, I don't know if I'm, can I speak?
well,
I did come today prepared with a comparison of what your incumbent agent presented, because since it was public record, we did get his packet.
well,
And then I compared with what we presented, and they are two different programs.
Yeah.
As you said,
It
they're
was
not
very
apples to apples.
confusing.
The only thing is that in the packet that I was given, the law enforcement quote was not in here, so I could not make a comparison on our spreadsheet.
okay, Could I make this suggestion, that the spreadsheet you made, could you provide us with a blank spreadsheet? So that when we look at those, we're looking at the same thing, instead of two different kind of spreadsheets. Does that make sense? If you do that, I appreciate that.
Right.
That'd make life a little simpler, I think.
Right.
And it isn't favoritism to the way Wilson Lawson Myers bids theirs, it's just how we've always looked at it, you know,
Right, right.
broken up like
Yeah.
that.
But,
so.
and it is hard, and you all had a daunting task of, in a 45-minute recess to try to compare, because again, even though if you try to do it,
They weren't.
it's like this.
Well, that's the
Yeah.
problem, like we said last week,
Right.
it seems like every time we get into this or health insurance or something, we're under the gun and gotta make a decision
Do you-
right now.
How, if I may ask, how long did you get your current carrier that was gonna expire this morning to extend your coverage? Do
For
you-
a week.
But I mean, is that week gonna end? Because in property casualty, but if it expires July 1st, it means it expires at 12:01 a.m. this morning. So if we come back next Monday and they only extended it to whatever next Monday's date is, your insurance has expired again as of 12:01 that day. So then you have again, a gap with no coverage. So I don't know how that can be played out, if you could get, if we come back Monday, if you can get them to extend it, and if you can make a decision Monday, then that insurance could be in effect whatever Tuesday's date is. So it would take effect Tuesday morning at 12:01 a.m.
So
And then your current policy
Well-
would expire.
So what you're
at
saying is it
12.
would be better if we did the meeting on Friday, because we're not going into Monday?
Well, Friday's July 4th.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
Do that.
I would anticipate that when, if we do take seal bids and they are on this, everybody's on the same form, that, the decision could be made right there.
Right.
I mean, it's all black and white,
Well, I mean,
extra dollars here and
If
extra dollars
we
here.
could get, our bid's not, and again, I've done our comparison. I can, when I get back to the office, I can seal it and have it overnighted to you, and you can have it. And of course, I don't know with it being sealed, whether you want to wait till Monday to open them, I don't know. That's, because of the expiration and the time, which is 12:01 a.m., it makes it very
Well-
challenging. You'd have to have something from your carrier defining exactly how long they're going to extend that coverage.
Brian, you have done that, have you not, Chris?
Yeah,
You-
I think he assumed it was gonna be next Tuesday
Mhm.
for the extension. which
So you're saying with the motion we made, that we
I mean,
are, that we are
have to double
safe?
check and make sure, but
So
Yeah, they-
Tuesday, that'd mean they'd be good through Monday night at midnight.
Right, and the carrier would have to endorse your policy, and you would need a copy of that endorsement showing that your policy has been extended from July 1st to whatever date they've given you. If it's next Tuesday was July 8th. And I mean, that'll be very important just for the protection of the county, because you don't want to go even from midnight till the next morning, because you just don't know if something would happen.
Right. Well, Chris, we are relying on you to keep us,
I mean, I'll get that information from the current, just so everyone's at peace, but
well, but like she said, it is a lot to worry about, so, like I said, we're relying on you to keep us straight, okay?
okay.
Okay.
So do we need to have a motion for a special meeting next, or Monday, or
Yeah?
So moved.
second,
10 o'clock.
10 o'clock?
Okay.
Whatever time's convenient with everybody else. Been moved and seconded, we have a special meeting next Monday to consider insurance. Next Monday at 10 o'clock. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Now, we're done with that subject, right?
Yes.
Have you got anything else?
No, not at this time.
I will ask you again before I forget it, if you've been able to do any research on Jay's position down there, if there's any way we can retain him.
I haven't found a definitive answer yet, but I hopefully will soon.
Because that's coming up the 8th of August, and we need a highway supervisor. That would be the simplest solution if Jay can stay right on and work it.
Could you, when do you plan on acting on that? Because I'm trying to think that
On-
is something you want to cover at that special meeting.
I'm really at a loss right now of what we can do. If we can't rehire Jay, we have 5 applicants, 4 of which won't take the job for the money we're paying, and another applicant who might consider the job who lives 40 minutes away, which is not good. So, if the other 2 commissioners would go along with me calling a special meeting to consider the highway job, if that becomes necessary, when it comes where we'd be able to do something,
I'm fine.
because we just don't know right now.
Sounds good to me.
So if you could, Chris, I guess what I'm asking is find a way we can do what we want to do. You know? Okay.
There is one thing I might say, only because it's really difficult to get things done sometimes, being that the council only meets once a month. And they're meeting tonight, and they won't meet again until August the 5th. And if you are wanting to submit a 144 for them to consider, I would suggest you present that to them
Yeah, we can go
this
ahead.
evening
We can
and go ahead and get a salary set. That way you'll be able to act one way or another, because we're just kind of hindered if you have to wait till August the 5th, or else you'll have to request them to do a special
Right.
meeting for a
Right.
144.
This is,
That's my
well, I
suggestion.
mean, we're just between a rock and a hard place right now. We have no way to go.
So what you're saying is do the 144 tonight.
And be
As
In the
if,
event-
as if you're,
in
that
the
way you're
event he cannot stay on.
prepared for,
Right.
that's why you're
Right.
prepared for any
Okay.
Yeah,
contingency.
and then,
Makes sense.
and then pray that the council will appropriate more money for a starting salary, because the people we interviewed, we're all making more money in the present job than what our starting salary is, and that's kind of hard to do somebody to take a job for less money than what they're making now.
They were making almost double what it is now.
Well, I think that's just a really old salary that has carried over probably for 15, 20 years on the starting salary ordinance for that position, which is, you know,
The starting salary for a supervisor who is on 24-hour call supervises 13 people, Jay? 13 people is $26,800. And of 4 of the gentlemen, like we said, almost all of them, one was unemployed, but the other one, all the other 4 made significantly more than that, so.
And the one that, well, just leave it.
So
We just
what-
need more money.
what do you want me to prepare that 144 amount for?
I'd say prepare for, I mean, they're gonna make the decision in the end anyway, what they wanna do. I'd say prepare for 45,000 and then let them put it whatever they think's appropriate. But I mean, the 45,000 is not out of the realm of what some of the people were making that applied for the job. But- Okay. That's all you have, right, Chris?
Yes, that's it all.
Council representative? They didn't show up? New business. Adrian Ellis, grant, salary reimbursement grant.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning, sir. We've gone through evaluations, and this is for the 2013 EMPG grant that Homeland Security reimburses the county. It's based on my performance given a point system. That point system was met. That keeps money coming into the county, whether it's reimbursement of salary or disaster relief fund. So that's the threshold I have to meet. With that is training and education and performance. That has been done. What I've given you is the grant agreement to be agreed upon and signed.
Okay.
Let me ask a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Have you informed Diana about this? I really struggled when I was on all of your different grants. I spent an inordinate amount of time when I was preparing the annual report to try to figure out what goes where, and I have to have CFDA numbers, and I need to know what is with this grant and what is expended, and I did not have, I struggled to find all the grant agreements. I could find a last page, didn't have that I was given that had been signed, but didn't have the first pages. And I would really like for that to go through Diana, so I have a one-point contact on all the grants to where I know what's going on, and
Did you get
she has copies of everything.
the copies that I emailed to you?
No.
I sent you copies of every one.
Oh, after the fact, but I did my annual report in January.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Now, those
And
are,
I also had gotten a call from Steve Leatherman at WTH
Yeah, I
about
did-
that.
I'm not in that loop anymore. I don't really know what
Well,
they're
they
doing.
came to, and I couldn't get a hold of you back, it was probably back in December, and I had like a day to get an invoice ready and send up there to them, and now we've got to do that again, and not knowing anything about it or being involved in that, I'm kind of,
Now, I'm out of the loop, so I'll have to get back into it. I don't know.
yeah, I
What they
really,
want.
I really would appreciate somebody else doing that other than me having to jump in at the last minute.
We're a third party in that. That's an agreement between WTH and the state of Indiana on GIS information.
But we do get the
WTH.
reimbursement, so.
Right. The state goes through us to reimburse them, which I think is bizarre anyway. And I was under the impression they had already done that, so that's why I've been
No,
out
it
of the
has
loop.
to come through us,
And I thought that had been done.
yeah,
Well, I can follow up on it.
yeah.
Adrian, you need a signature on this?
Yes, yes, sir, I need two signed. I gave you copies.
That's why my copy shows 3 signatures.
I need Debbie's signature, your signatures, and my signatures on these.
We need a motion to approve this, Debbie.
Yes.
So moved.
Second.
Been moved and seconded to accept the grant. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion
Here are
carries.
signature pages. I need both of them.
Okay, we'll sign these and get them, you can pick them up from Debbie, that'd be all right?
That'll be fine.
Okay.
I also gave you a activity report. I'm not going to go through that. Just a couple items. We've been doing a lot of work in the district on emergency housing, disaster housing. The state has pushed an initiative for all 10 districts to get this together. I've been working with the other 12 counties, writing the plan, working with the Red Cross and other facilities. This, if you remember back to Hurricane Katrina, how all the people were displaced, this is kind of preliminary. Maybe they know something I don't know. With global warming, I don't know. But it puts things in perspective so that if there were a massive amount of people that would be sent to Indiana, we're ready. We've completed that plan. It's been a 6-month nightmare. Had a lot of meetings in Muncie. Little known fact, a lot of the people in Hurricane Katrina are still not united. Their families still spread apart. And this is an attempt to make sure that that doesn't happen again. Also, this is a public request. I'm working on a special needs plan. We have special needs community. Been working a lot with Fayette Regional Hospital. I just completed an exercise with them. Just completed one with Ball Hospital for the district and 181st Tactical Medical Wing of the Air Force. We were involved in an exercise there. This is looking at special needs population, no restrictions on age, physical disabilities, mental disabilities. People need to be accounted for. We need to know what their needs are, generalized mapping as to where they are. If we would have to transport these people, where would they go, what level of medical support would they need. So I'm reaching out to the public. I had someone who was going to kind of take an initiative. She has an autistic child, and unfortunately she bowed out. But this is something near and dear to my heart. I hate seeing someone in those positions, and public request. The only other thing is we need to do a courthouse exercise. I have just about completed revision of the courthouse emergency plans procedures. I probably need a special meeting with you to discuss it because there are a lot of details that are going to have to be approved by the commissioners. And they're going to involve a lot of people, all employees, all department heads. Some specialized situations within that, and we need to discuss that.
Okay.
Okay, I mean, I was thinking I need that. Can that hold off for next month or what?
Yes.
'Cause, I mean, the commissioners pretty much have their
Yeah,
plate
it
full
sounds like you
with
got a
special meetings, and
You got a full plate.
if we could, if you could bring that up next month, we'll set a date to do that.
Okay,
Okay?
will do. That's it.
Okay,
Thank
thanks,
you.
Adrian.
Thanks, sir.
Thank you.
Next item is Surveyor's report on Bridge 61 and Louise Lewis Drain.
Good morning.
Morning.
It's about Bridge 61, as you probably saw in the paper, the beams were set on the bridge last Friday. And just got a claim in for half the cost of the bridge, so we'll be getting that in. So they've got till mid-August to finish the bridge according to the contract. So not much time left, so they'll be working on the deck. I have one item here on the pay items. It's common excavation. A lot of the times we measure at the end, but they requested that they just be paid the planned quantity, so we won't go through all the measurement. And I have that agreement here. It won't be on this estimate, I don't think. But,
And why are we doing this?
it's just to pay planned quantity. Usually, you measure the final ditches and excavation and calculate it, but they agreed that it'd be okay just pay planned quantity, which is 311 cubic yards. So,
In other words, if you actually measure, they could be over, we could owe them more money, but they've agreed to go by what the specs say.
But
Yeah.
if it's less, we'd still have to pay them this much?
yeah, but
Okay.
it's not a very much amount. I checked the plans and quantities seem okay,
Right,
so.
okay.
Just have the commissioners sign there at the bottom on the left side.
So you're just paying what that division is, broke out in the contract for that?
Yeah,
Right.
yeah,
Yeah.
like so.
Yeah, so this is something we have already agreed to.
Yeah, at 311 cubic yards, $23 a yard is
Right.
about 7,000 something.
Okay. Okay.
But,
Okay, we'll put this in the stack
Okay,
and then pick it up off of Debbie. We just send all this stuff to Ian, if that's okay.
okay,
All right?
sounds good.
Thank you.
You need a motion?
No. No, because it's something we've already agreed to. What about this I've got on the agenda about the Louise Lewis drain. You got something on that?
Yes, I got a claim in for the repairs. I paid the materials, and then I get a claim from the contractor, and it's about $300 over the amount in the drain. And I'd asked about borrowing the money from the general improvement drain to put in the Louise Lewis drain it's $281. So I'd asked if that was possible, how that would be handled, and we pay it back.
Yeah, and that has typically been done. I think you just approved to borrow from the common drain maintenance fund, loan that money to the Louise Lewis Drain Fund, and then when, probably in the fall, when we have, after we have settlement, we have monies go into
But
there
it's not
and
one
pay
of those
that.
deals that has to be paid back by the end of the year,
Not on drains,
not on drains?
no, not that I
So
Okay.
so it's just a little bit over on the work. It was 85 feet of pipe.
yeah.
So we need a motion to borrow the money from the other drainage fund.
So moved.
Second.
Then moving second, we approve borrowing the money to satisfy this claim. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Now, Debbie, you want to talk to us about the recording software and equipment, recording software equipment?
That's what I forgot to bring with me. I'm so sorry. I was trying to get everything else ready and
Do you need to go get it? That's fine.
I tell you what, can you bump me down
I can do-
later before adjournment?
I can do whatever
Because
you
I
want.
have it, I have it on my email and I can pull it up here.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, we'll go to the next item on the agenda, which is also you.
Which is also me. Beth Richardson, who worked as my accounts receivable deputy, and she also did property tax settlement and sundry other things, and she has left and accepted a job in the Union County Auditor's Office. And I had put a notice out, just kind of a blast email to anybody in the courthouse if they were interested, which we typically do, and I had already also interviewed, and I had a response from Terry Cavins, who works in Melinda's office, and she was interested in the job, and I have offered the job to her, and she will start July the 14th, I think. If that's not adequate time for you, Melinda.
Her last day is the 11th. So-
Yeah, so the 14th would be on
Right.
a Monday.
Right.
And, if we need extra time, too, I don't want to put you, at
Well,
a
that-
disadvantage. Yeah. So then that will create a ripple effect, so then Melinda will have an opening also.
And that's why I'm here to request permission to hire someone to take Terry's place. It will be a new hire, and it'll be at $16,747, which is our starting pay. I want to get her hired as soon as possible so that Terry can train her before she leaves, which only leaves a week, really.
Yeah, and if you need that to be flexible enough,
Well, I'm
if you have
going by
to.
Terry's
Yeah,
date
Yeah.
of leaving the clerk's office as July the 11th is her last day. She's been with the county for 10 years, and I really hate losing her. She's been a wonderful employee. She handles small claims, which is a big job. We have over 1,000 small claims a year here in this county. So I will regret seeing her go, but on the same token, I want to hire someone else to take her place and get trained.
Need a motion?
So I move to allow the clerk to hire someone to replace Ms. Cavins, who's leaving,
Thank you.
Second.
And Debbie, too.
and Debbie, and also for the auditor to hire a replacement for Ms. Richardson.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded the request for the new hire and the transfer to, from the Linda's office to Debbie's office. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am, thank you.
Mr. President,
Yeah.
I have something in the business before we move on.
Okay.
Um,
That would be the next item.
Okay. As you all know, Commissioner Jackson, or not all of you know, Commissioner Jackson and I talked last week. The issue of the insurance and waiting till the last minute is driving everybody nuts, causes things to happen, you know, and you miss information, you don't get it, this, that, and it puts us in a bind as commissioners to make a sound judge decision what's best for the taxpayer. Now, I don't know if you still want to do this or not, but I had made a request of our last meeting that we put a date of our second meeting in May of 2015 that all insurance quotes will be in by that day. If you're a day late, that's it, you don't get to bid. Because we can't do this at the last second. This is why we're, you can't make a judgment in less than 24 hours, especially on something that's $200 and something thousand. I mean, that puts us at a disadvantage. And then, so, I make a motion that we put that into the stipulation, as long as we can legally do that, Chris, that the insurance companies have their bid in by the second meeting of May in 2014, and any bid after that will not be accepted.
For the property and casualty insurance.
Yeah.
Because we have health insurance do this, which is do it another time.
Right.
And the
I mean,
reason,
that's if you want to open it up to everybody. I mean, it's a
Which
it's a
you don't have
specialized
to do.
service. You don't have to open it up, but if you do, you have to provide the proper notice that all bids are welcome.
And that's fine, I just don't like being put in the position of a last-minute decision in less than 24 hours. And it's not fair to the other two guys either.
But what you're getting at, Chris, if we do make this motion, does that say, does that in itself say that we are going to bid the insurance?
I don't think, no, he just said if you're going to, you want to set a date for the 2nd of May.
Second meeting in May.
For the present insurance carrier to bring his stuff, or if we desire to bid it? Either one, okay.
So that's my motion.
I'll second that.
Been moved and seconded that if we do take bids on property and casualty insurance next year, that the bids be in by May the
Or
1st,
the second meeting in May.
by the second meeting in May, or if we're not bidding it, that the present carrier needs his quote in by that same day, right?
Yes.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. We're getting down to the end. Patrons' concerns, we have any? Claims and payroll.
Move to approve.
Second.
Been moved, second to approve the claims and the payroll. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Um,
Are you prepared for your,
I've been typing. Hold on just a second.
well, we're gonna take a recess anyway.
Until I see some people out here probably.
We have bid
Get
opening,
ready.
we have bid openings at 10 o'clock. Why don't we recess the meeting?
Do that, and then by that time I'll
And
have...
when we reopen it at 10 o'clock for the bid opening, then we will take care of Debbie's
request.
request.
Mick?
Sure, yeah. DOC was here yesterday.
You need to talk to us before we
Just
adjourn.
presented a paper to you.
Okay. Sorry, Mr. President.
Yeah, that's fine.
Thank you.
Thank you, Michelle.
The Indiana Department of Corrections were here yesterday for the fiscal audit for the 2012-13 grant cycle, and giving you the paperwork, and they'll be sending down an invoice today for the carryover amount. There was no violations and no concerns found, so the audit was
Congratulations.
completely
Very
good.
good.
Sounds like you're doing a good job.
And they agree with our carryover balance, which is the $1,079.72.
Good.
So we'll be sending that back to them.
So we passed another test.
Super.
Okay.
Thank you.
At this time, we will take a recess until 10 o'clock. Okay, we'll call the meeting back to order. We have a stack of bids for the proposed highway garage. At this time, I'm going to hand them to the auditor and have her open them and report what the bids are.
In interest, there's alternate one. As you open them, you should see a base bid number, an alternate one. Alternate two, I've written C bid form. It's a unit price. It's going to be a very complicated alternate. I don't know if you're required to read off every single line item of that unit price alternate or not, but it's not a direct price. I'll let the attorney judge if we should. There's about 10 numbers you're going to see in alternate two.
And that's in reference to how far they go
It's
down.
the unit price of extending foundations, 1 foot, 2 foot, 3 foot, 4 foot, 5 foot. It's going to be a very redundant number to read. It doesn't really, it could come into play, but I'll defer to your judgment. It's going to take a long time to read because she's going to be reading a couple hundred numbers if she reads every one of them.
So that, you don't know that just because you don't know how far you're gonna have to go. So
Yeah, so so what we did is to protect the owners, we did a unit price to extend them. That way during the excavation, we can determine if we gotta go down 5 foot, we can take that number times the 5 foot depth, and that's what we'll pay the contractor.
will every bid have something similar?
Yes, every bid will have that on there. But again, there's 10 numbers per bid times 8 bidders. You'll be talking 80 numbers. I don't see a value in reading them.
I don't think that needs to be
We
read.
take the 2 low bidders typically, and then we would evaluate that tabular item. Anyone in the audience that typically would want to see the bid afterwards, we would allow them to come up and look. But yeah, my recommendation is just to help speed.
Okay.
Okay. This first bid is from John L. Maxwell Incorporated, doing business as Maxwell Construction. And single prime contract bid, $840,000. Alternate number one, which would be to deduct $76,000, delete office area work. And then there are an alternate two. There's various listings there. Second bid is from McDougall Pierce Construction. And this bid is for $892,676. Alternate, where is alternate? Here we go. And alternate one, deduct $82,800. And then they do have bids for the various other work. Smarelli General Contractor. Did you want to know what, where these are out of? McDougall Pierce is Fishers, and Maxwell Construction is Greendale. This is for Smarelli out of Richmond. $868,000 with a $100,000 deduct for the office area. Monroe Construction Group out of Kokomo. $813,175 with a deduct of $102,361 for the office area. Runabout Construction, Shelbyville. With a very tight bid here, won't come out of the envelope. $752,400 with a deduct of $85,000 for the office area. Thor Construction out of Richmond. $793,500 with a deduct of $73,500 for the office area. DeWeese, is that how it's pronounced? D-E, capital W-E-E-S, Construction from Bargersville. A bid of $804,650 with a deduct for alternate one of $62,500. I will also note that we have received and I think it was, here it is. We had received okay, this isn't really a bid. This is the sub-suppliers list. DeWeese sent the sub-suppliers list for that evidently had been excluded from their bid, and this came in prior to the meeting. And it's just a list, it's not pricing, so we can put it with their bid. That's it.
Okay. Well, we thank everybody for submitting their bids. We will consider it, and to say what I'm disappointed is to say the least. I can say it now that we're going to have to go in front of the council and see what what their idea is, because they have not appropriated enough money to take the least of these bids. So we will study them. I'll talk to the council tonight, and we will get back to everybody in short order.
Do we need a motion to take them under advisement?
I would say we do.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Appreciate
Been
it.
moved and seconded to take the bids under advisement. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. $100,000.
They, yeah.
The council has appropriated $650, right?
600.
600,
Yes.
yeah. So it's 150.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, you got anything to say?
Oh, wait,
One thing
I
I'd
do
like to
have
do-
something on mine too. So
Yeah, I do. I'm not going to do it yet.
When our meeting's over, typically I'd like to review for completeness of the bids.
Please, we
So
we
give you a
also,
recommendation from the
now
engineering firm.
will you review the bid bonds and such, or does Chris do that? or
Typically,
you
I'll
can
do
go
that
ahead?
as well, but obviously, typically, we'll go ahead and review all that and let you know in our opinion, what our recommendation would be, that if the bids are complete and conform, and then, again, your attorney can review them as well, but we always, as the designing engineer, look at them just to give you our opinion.
Responsive and responsible bidders.
You got it.
Debbie has an item that carried over from the rest of our meetings she wants to take care of before we adjourn.
I am requesting, and let me pass this, pass it down, and take one of these and pass it down. I'm so sorry I didn't have this sooner.
That's fine.
We had been a little,
Well, I'm trying, Sam.
All right.
and I will request that
But I'll take the bus.
that commissioners be patient with me over the next month or so, and while the auditor's office is picking up, having Beth off, and then also we'll be training, and I'll be doing a lot of that, training the new gal, so,
Duly noted and understand.
yes. I have been looking at this, at this system, or systems similar to this, and have talked to fellow auditors who really highly recommend this. BIS Digital, they offer a system whereby, and if you see on the last page, there's these portable mics, I think they call them boundary mics, that are omnidirectional. They daisy chain together and will be hooked right into my laptop, and it will digitally record to my laptop the meeting in progress. It also has software that goes along with it that hooks into, that I can have my agenda called up, and I can bookmark places right there in the recording, and also like do my minutes right from the agenda items, and it's going to make my job a lot easier. The bid from BIS on this, and I did talk with him, and I'm trying to think, they include $500 for remote support, and then annual software assurance, $300. I guess that's upgrades or whatever. And install and training, $300. I think $300. I think he did say that there was something in here I might be able to eliminate. So it may actually be lower than this when we get done, but $3,380 is BIS, their quote. And this high criteria, I couldn't get 3, there aren't a lot of people that have something similar. And this other from, it's for a quote for a 2-channel Liberty meeting recorder, and it's $3,758. And the money for this would come out of my auditor's ineligible deduction fund, and there are funds in that for that, and I'm asking for an additional appropriation tonight from the council to cover the cost of this. When I'm trying to, I will take actually, and I can look them up online, but it's really hard for me to drill down to one specific point, and then I I have to have, while I'm doing it, I have to have a second computer called up and watch that while I'm typing on here, and it makes it pretty difficult. I mean, you know, it
So you
just
can
makes
do
it
it
a
all
little
from one
cumbersome.
location.
It'll be recorded here. We can use it for other meetings if we should like. The other beauty about that is being portable. If we have a meeting off-site, I can just, you know, I take the mics with me and plug them in there, so it's,
And it takes the audio and transfers
yeah.
it into Word.
Yeah. No, it does not do that. It doesn't have that dragon. And what I have found out when researching that, because that sounds wonderful, and then also talking to Brenda, I don't know whether she has that on one over at EDG, but if you're doing one-on-one, Dragon works pretty good if you're dictating into it to transcribe. But when you have multiple people talking, and in here, you know, when people are talking at the same time, it's almost, you know, it doesn't work well at all. Yeah. So
Okay.
I did check with, and while we were in here looking at this, I checked with Ben, and he came in and met with us too, and he agreed this would be a good solution. The other thing, because we are also looking at trying to find a way to take the feed from these mics that TV3 use for their recording, and because these mics have been pretty much useless unless you have them right in front of you, so we are not even using that at all anymore. But try to get a feed out for a small room. It's really hard for people in the back row, from what I understand, what I hear complaints on certain people. I think my voice carries pretty good. You can ask my children, but some people don't hear really well, so we are trying to figure, you know, we were trying to figure a fix to that,
Right.
about redirecting that out, but weren't sure about whether you'd have feedback when in the recording. So that is another thing that we are looking at, trying to find a fix for that too.
Okay. So you're recommending low bid,
I'm recommending low bid,
and the possibility that could be even lower
yes.
if we need that. So what's the wish of the commission?
I move that we approve the bid from BIS Digital for a price of $3,380 with the stipulation that at Mrs. Kidd's discretion, if she decides to remove something from there that is removable, if she's been able to do something.
Okay. Been moved and second, we approve the BIS digital bid, $3,380. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Does anybody else have anything for the board before we adjourn? If not, I'd entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Been moved and second, this meeting with county commissioners be adjourned. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried, meeting adjourned.